$800 bought me the right to scrape congealed oil from a bankrupt restaurant's backyard. The diner was called the Hungry Skillet, closed for 6 months after the owner's gambling debts caught up with him. A chain-link fence sagged around the lot, and a single floodlight flickered all night, casting shadows that looked like skeletons. I was 39 years old, employed as a night janitor at a county hospital, where I emptied bedpans and wiped down operating tables after midnight surgeries. My means of transport was a 1989 Dodge Dakota with a rust hole through the bed large enough to drop a tennis ball through. I had no padding in my checking account. Every paycheck dissolved into rent on a studio that smelled like mildew and instant ramen. A laminated sign zip-tied to the diner's back door read, "Grease Trap Rights, $800 or best offer. Contact receiver's office." I called the number. A bored woman named Deborah said the bank would take $200 just to be rid of the liability. I offered $200. She laughed. She accepted. I spent my last $200 on a dented steel barrel from a salvage yard and a hand pump that leaked oil onto my boots. The grease trap was buried behind the dumpster, a concrete vault covered by a lid the weight of a coffin. I pried it open with a crowbar. The smell hit like a physical slap. Rancid fat, decayed vegetables, and something sweet that made my stomach flip. I pumped 40 gallons of yellow grease into the barrel. The liquid was the color of weak tea, speckled with black flecks. I strapped the barrel in the truck bed and drove 45 minutes to a biodiesel processor on the edge of an industrial park. The man at the desk, a former welder named Sal with a missing index finger, tested a sample. He paid me $1.20 per pound. My first check was $384. I bought a second pump and a second barrel. I started visiting other failed restaurants before the receivers even advertised. I offered $100 for trap rights. Most owners or their bank reps said yes just to avoid the stench. I learned which chains used pure vegetable oil versus animal fat. Pure Veg brought a premium. I learned to filter on site with cheesecloth stretched over 5-gallon buckets. I bought a used box truck for $1,200, painted over its former logo with house paint, and installed a permanent filtration tank inside. Within 18 months, I held contracts on 23 defunct diners, fast food shells, and catering kitchens across 3 counties. I hired a part-time helper, a quiet man named Earl who had been laid off from a tire factory. We processed 600 gallons a month at peak. Sal's processor paid up to $1.50 per pound for clean, low-free fatty acid oil. My monthly revenue hit $4,000. My daughter, Vicky, was 11 then. Her teeth came in crooked, one incisor overlapping another like a folded umbrella. The orthodontist quoted $4,800 for braces, plus another $1,200 for the retainer. I paid in cash, $100 bills from the grease money. I didn't tell her where it came from. I said a side job. She asked, like a paper route. I said something like that. She rolled her eyes. I saw her new smile 18 months later, straight and white and perfect. She hugged me. I smelled like hospital disinfectant, not oil. That was fine. I am not a normal person. A normal person would have taken a second job stocking shelves or driving for Uber. I bought a stranger's wastewater and built a business from the smell of yesterday's French fries. Watch the next story while you're still not normal.